As we'll do this one again. Green flag back in the air. Better start there for Bryce Lucius, though, is now into turn 1 and 2. Cap Henry still going to slide in front, but Bryce Lucius now has a different challenger, the 7N of Darren Nida, to the inside of Lucius. A little contact there between two. Here comes Jędrzejczyk now to the inside of Bryce Lucius, but Lucius holds on to third.
Cap Henry pulling away quickly out front of this one in clean air.
He has red flag. Big wreck in turn 1 and 2.
Into the soft walls, thank goodness for those soft wall. Going to lead us down to the green.
Cap Henry going to lead him into turn 1 and 2. Darren Nida will follow suit, goes to the bottom side as Lucius and Casey Jędrzejczyk are in third and fourth. Cale Thomas now to the inside on Scott Boguski. Side by side, Boguski goes up top now. Thomas on the bottom. Cale Thomas, a wheel stand down the front stretch, but gets by Scott Boguski.
Cap Henry pulling away now from Darren Nida. Bryce Lucius, Casey Jędrzejczyk, Cale Thomas, your top 5 with 4 laps in.
Battles throughout, lap traffic now right in front of your race leader. Here comes Darren Nida. Darren Nida to the inside on Cap Henry. Slides up. Henry on the banking. Keeps it going though. We stay green, but Cap Henry loses positions. Cale Thomas now up, but Darren Nida, your new race leader.
How Cap Henry saved that is beyond me. But here we are, heavy lap traffic now. Ahead for Darren Nida, and Bryce Lucius closest to his rear bumper.
Nida gets by as Cody Brewer comes to a halt. Caution flag will wave as green flag back in the air. Darren Nida going to lead him down the front stretch into turn number 1 and 2. Jędrzejczyk tried to duck to the inside. Cale Thomas now up top. Cap Henry to the inside on the 49X of Cale Thomas. Side by side. Little contact there between Cap Henry and Cale Thomas. And don't look now. Caleb Henry on a move right now. Caleb Henry, the 101, up to the 11th spot behind Joel Myers Jr. But up front, here comes Boguski to the inside on Cale Thomas. Thomas holds off as Seth Zabel, Brandon Spithaler swapping sliders.
Battle for the lead. Darren Nida, here comes Bryce Lucius. Big flyer in 3 and 4. Muscles his way into the lead for Bryce Lucius. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Car on the high side of turn 4 to bring out the caution.
Green flag back in the air. Darren Nida going to lead him into turn 1 and 2. Cap Henry already going to try and duck to the inside on Jędrzejczyk. He slams the door in turn 1 and 2. Boguski goes to the inside of Cale Thomas. Thomas and Boguski, that's for the 5th spot. As Darren Nida holds onto the race lead, but Bryce Lucius going to go right to the top side. Cap Henry slides Casey Jędrzejczyk for the 3rd spot. Darren Nida into turn 1 and 2, goes through the middle. Bryce Lucius up top, Cap Henry on the bottom. So your top 3 all ran 3 different lines, and Cap Henry around the bottom is going to take over that 2nd spot.
Darren Nida out front, Cap Henry back into 2nd. Bryce Lucius 3rd, Casey Jędrzejczyk trying to hold off Cale Thomas. Cap Henry looking strong on the bottom of the racetrack now.
Cap Henry on the bottom trying to close in on the 7N of Darren Nida. Bryce Lucius not going away though. He's going to go live and die by the top side. Is the 32 of Bryce Lucius as they go into turn 3 and 4. Lap traffic on the horizon yet again for the 7N of Darren Nida, but this time Cap Henry will be the one on attack.
Darren Nida, you've got company in Cap Henry.
Henry goes to the inside, Nida up top, holds off Henry there in turn 1 and 2. Stuart Brubaker to the infield as we'll keep this one green. Darren Nida now switches lines, goes to the middle of the racetrack, holding off Cap Henry through 3 and 4.
Henry down to the inside again. They go side by side. Advantage that time, Darren Nida, but lap traffic looms ahead. Racing side by side. Lap 23 in the books. And we've got a barn burner shaping up at Fremont.
Cap Henry in the 2nd spot. Here comes Bryce Lucius now. He's going to close in on this battle for the race lead. Cap Henry in the 33W, the 32 of Bryce Lucius, the 7N of Darren Nida. 3-car battle for the race lead.
They run nose to tail in turns 1 and 2. Henry down to the inside again with a lap car of Trey Jacobs right ahead of them. Nose to tail down the backstretch. Lap cars racing all over in front of your leaders. 10 laps to go. New leader, Cap Henry.
Henry goes to the outside now. He'll go around Trey Jacobs. Here comes Bryce Lucius trying to get by the 7N of Darren Nida. Nobody can get by Trey Jacobs. Leighton Wagner now in front of your race leader as well. Cap Henry can't get by. Casey Jędrzejczyk with a slider for 3rd. 3 wide now in front of your race leader of Cap Henry. still cannot get by Cody Brewer, Devin Borden, and now Creed Kemino. As Bryce Lucius off the racetrack, he'll go around. Caution flag will wave. Green flag back in the air. Casey Jedrzejek, Darren Nida, Cale Thomas. Your top four as they go into turn 1 and 2. Here goes Caleb Henry to the inside on Scott Boguski, and right on the tail tank of Cale Thomas. Your top 2 in points, battling it out inside the top 5 and Scott Boguski. They're going to go 3 wide. Cale Thomas now losing the spot. Caleb Henry up to the 4th spot.
From 22nd up to the 4th position from Caleb Henry. Big wheel stand for Boguski. That allows Cale Thomas to slide into the top 5.
White flag in the air. Cap Henry, a 2-time winner with the All-Stars, as now Caleb Henry trying to get by Darren Nida for the 3rd spot. Darren Nida goes to the inside. Caleb Henry around the top. Caleb looking for 3rd, but out of turn number 4. Cap Henry for the 3rd time this year wins an All-Star feature. Caleb Henry, though, outside one more time. Darren Nida gets 3rd over Caleb Henry.